we are in the thick of it. See, this is the weird thing, and I'm not necessarily complaining, but I was playing this yesterday. I ended it. I even think I went to, no, maybe I didn't do Minecraft. But I went to this, I was playing this yesterday, and then I come on today, and it's right where I left off. And it doesn't happen all the time.
My injuries are less severe.
I don't have chat where I can see it, and I found something out today. The Xbox, I thought I was spelling it wrong, so I was trying to type out Indictment for Indictment Watch, and I thought I knew how to spell it. I'm not a good speller, so this is not an unusual position for me to be in. I started spelling it, and then it went blank, and there were no more suggestions for words. And so I fucking looked it up. I was spelling it right. I think I would have spelled it right. As soon as I got up to the CT, it blanked everything out. Either that or Bing spelled it wrong. I don't know. And the thing is, they're both Microsoft, Bing and Xbox. Bing can apparently spell it. Xbox can't.
I need spirit. Help me.
I'm basically it's gonna be somewhere between now and 10:30. But when the cat starts bugging me really bad for her lunch, that's when I'm gonna quit, and I don't really care how much of this I got done. She was so sick on Monday, and she was a little better on Tuesday. I kind of asked the universe to make her feel better, and I'm not joking. I was really worried about her on Monday, and she started getting better. Like Tuesday, she more than likely just ate one of the plants or something like that. She's done that before. The only thing is, when she was getting sick, I didn't find, and usually when she's eating the plants, one, you'll see damage to the plant. And then when she's puking up, even dry heaving like that, you'll have a little bit of green in it.
Enough spirit. I must wait. Use that ability.
Oh my god. I just gotta say, and this is gonna venture into politics a little bit, but I did not have a good day yesterday, at least in part. I felt pretty good in the morning, and then I was watching stuff later in the day. I think it was after I was streaming, and I was watching that new dipshit lawyer that Trump's got, and I did this kind of in the fall, and I quit hearing about it.
I don't have enough spirit.
Last fall, you started hearing this because it was all the rage during the Bush administration. Like when you were finding out they committed war crimes. You know, like when you know a lot of the crimes that the Bush administration did. Bush 43, Bush Jr., George W. Bush, not H.W. his dad. You started hearing this shit. Oh well, it wasn't illegal because they had a legal memo. You know, and I did the same thing, and I was pretty upset. And I gotta tell you, stuff I've seen today kind of tells me that hey, maybe somebody at MSNBC read my thread, not my tweet, but my thread. I'm on personally on thread. But I kind of went off because I'm like, you know, they did this in the Bush administration, and I go, they're doing it now. And I go, they did it last fall, but I go, they quit. And I go, it's this idea that, you know, these shitbag Republicans can break the law, and then as long as they got like a legal memo saying breaking the law was okay, it's like a get out of jail free. And I go, look, I gotta tell you, if that's the case, I go, I honestly, as far as I can tell, I was under poison for being a whistleblower for bringing equality issues when I worked at GM. And I go, if that's the case, then I go, I should be able to go get a legal memo from some brain-dead legal reject from Regent University, some religious nut with a 3-inch dick. I'm going a little more than what I did in the tweet or the thread. I should be able to go get a legal memo that I can fucking kill the people that I suspect did this to me, that I am pretty sure that I think did this to me. And I go, this would not be nearly as bad as what they're doing, you know, because, you know, this actually happened to me where these guys were making shit up. There was no theft of the election. I go, I should be able to go get a legal memo and then go fucking kill those people and get even with them. But I go, the fact is, I firmly believe that if I did that, I should be arrested, I should be put on trial, and I should go to jail for it. I go, this is bullshit. I go, instead of letting him get away with these crimes, if there's a fucking lawyer out there that told him he could do this, then that lawyer should be fucking charged as an accessory. I go, you take that guy that wrote the memo for torture. You know, the guy that wrote the memo that they used to legalize torture. I go, send that guy to the fucking Hague now. Send him to the Hague. Let him be tried for war crimes. I go, everybody in the fucking Bush administration, send them to the Hague, because I go, here's the thing, and this is the thing that, you know, you just can't get away from. I go, if you don't start punishing these fucking lawyers for doing this shit, I go, as long as all they have to do is face like some sanctions, oh well, they're gonna get a fine, or maybe they'll lose their law license. If you don't start putting them in jail for what they're doing, I go, what's gonna happen is you will always be able to find that one or two lawyers if you pay them enough money, they will fucking write this shit. I go, you gotta start putting it in jail. Start with that, because I go, I don't think there's any statute of limitations on war crimes. But I go, that guy that worked for the Bush administration, he needs to go to the Hague. They need to convict him for his part in the war crimes.
The world is UFO.
Jesus Christ. I lost my temper. I'm really trying not to, but I lost my temper, and I just did not have. It wasn't a high point of my life. Let's just put it that way. I fucking lost it though. Holy shit.
Are you ready? Then your trial begins.
But this morning on Meet Morning Joe, they brought on a prosecutor, and they were talking about that legal defense, and like I said, and he was really tiptoeing on it. He's a former federal prosecutor, and he's on there a lot. You see him on it, not just Morning Joe, but you see him on MSNBC a fair amount. And oh my God, what was that?
I must lessen the burden.
Oh, I gotta do this. Eat steak, eat a big old steer. this must be the cow Nephilim. There was something. This was a while ago, and I might be remembering it wrong. But it was. I think it said not the cow level, and pretty much everything in there was a cow. And I vaguely remember the cow level. I can't remember if it was from the original Diablo or Diablo 2 or something like that. But I do vaguely remember there was something about a cow level. Infernal bovine jam. It's like, what the fuck? Oh, I won't do it today. I probably want to watch it again. But I watched. I was watching the, because of the indictment it did. I was watching, instead of watching Skinwalker Ranch Tuesday night, I watched, and I had slept during the day, but they had, when I woke up, it took me a few minutes to know, but there was all this shit online about Trump's indictment, and I'm like, I asked on Threads, I go, did he get indicted? I go, I got health issues, and I ended up falling asleep. And somebody responded, yeah, it was like an hour ago. And I'm like, oh, wow. Well, then MSNBC scrambled, and they let you know that Rachel would be heading up a panel of some of their top people to talk about the indictment. So, and I did apologize. I got on Threads, and I go, hey, I guess I'm not that big a fan, but I go, they got the indictment thing tonight. I go, I'm going to be watching that. I feel kind of bad for missing the bench tonight, but I will watch it later. Well, I watched it last night, and I guess it was the next day. I think I took another nap again yesterday, and when I woke up, I'm like, well, I'm going to watch it. And the thing was, the end of last week's episode, and then right at the beginning of this one, because right near the end of the episode, they had launched a big-ass rocket. And they made a comment at the end of the episode, something about the rocket disappearing. Well, they got talking about that right at the beginning of the episode, and they talked about the rocket. This is a rocket that was supposed to go like 10,000 feet in the air, and supposed to break the sound barrier, and you didn't hear any of that. And according to them, the rocket disappeared. Is what it is. But they're saying the rocket disappeared. It just sort of dawned on me. I don't know if it was one episode or more, but I go in the episodes where they were up in the helicopter and it was getting pushed around. I go, maybe something was protecting them. I go, if that rocket really did disappear, maybe when the helicopter was getting bumped, maybe something was actually protecting the people in it. Like if the rocket disappears, no big deal. But if 4 or 5 people riding around in the brothers' helicopter, maybe they'd have gotten hurt. Maybe they just didn't want them there. I don't know. But maybe something was looking out for them. I don't know. Killed the cow and they had like a floating steak. It was like a magical steak. Oh my God, I hate to say this, but I've been watching these they're on right now. Like now it's Subway, but they had this it's that one supplement where it's concentrated vegetables and fruits in the green and red pill bottle. And here's the thing: they just had one. Like they've come a long way. They used to have one, and I think he had something to do with making it. But they started out with those, and they had this guy, and I swear to God, he had all the grace, coordination, and timing of Herman Munster. You know, I remember Herman Munster, you know, that guy. But they had him out there, and he was trying to play tennis or something. And, you know, he's a normal guy. He just wasn't coordinated. You know, I'm not saying I'm much better, but I'm also not doing commercials for that. And after a while, it's like, my God, who in the fuck would want that if it's going to make you move like, oh, man, I'm feeling better than I ever had? It's like, yeah, I don't want to fucking look like that. So they got rid of him. They got some other people. Well, they got this one chick, and she's like a doctor or a personal trainer or something, and she's older, and she's doing the commercial, and it's fine commercial. I'm not, but oh my God, there's one where she's like she's dressed up like Jane Fonda doing aerobics or something like that, and she's either got fucking Dolly Parton-sized fake tits, or she's got like the most supportive Wonder Bra. She's got like the Platinum Triple X fucking Miracle Bra or something. It's like, holy shit.
We must face another trial, my friend.
Oh my God. Fucking Threads hasn't taken. Threads is a little more strict than fucking what Twitter was, and it's in line. I'm not trying to bash him. I'm literally not trying to bash him. I don't care. As long, you know, and from what I remember of Instagram, they're pretty much across the board. It isn't like, you know, back in the day with Twitter where it was really one-sided. You know, like you could make a joke about, you know, Trump or something like that, and it'd get kicked. I mean, like an honest-to-goodness joke that he deserved. But then you'd have somebody like flying Nazi flags or something like that, and it's like, oh, I don't know about that, you know, so it's okay. Or making threats. Like that one guy, he threw up a video where he had got that fucking Titan anime show, Attack on Titan or something like that, and he had his face on one animated character that was cutting up an animated character with a sword that had AOC's face, and they're like, you know, they couldn't bother taking that off. But Instagram has, and it seems like Threads is kind of in the same venue with that. And again, I don't really care what they do as long as they're doing it. You know, and again, it's theirs. They can do it unfairly if they want, but if they're doing it unfairly, I'm probably not going to be on it that much. You know. But somebody put up one. They had like two pictures of Marjorie Taylor Greene. And the first one was just, I will vote for Trump even if he's in jail or something like that. It's like, okay, you know, not exactly the best look for the Law and Order party. But then the other one they put up was Marjorie Taylor Greene, and the caption on it was, "Rib condoms do not taste like ribs." And I fucking lost it. I'm like, oh my God. the one thing I want to say, and I don't really have much use for either one of them. And I don't know who the guy is, but I think it's Tom Nichols. And I don't know if he's party affiliated. I don't know if he's just run-of-the-mill, center-of-the-line reporter. I don't know who he is, the name ain't ringing, but he basically wrote an op-ed, and they were talking about it yesterday that, you know, we've high past the time where you can't make excuses for people anymore. Anybody that's still voting Republican or supporting the Republicans, you just need to basically call them out. They go. It's gotten to the point where it can no longer tolerate it. You know, it kind of, and he didn't go into it, but he was kind of hinting at. It's to the point where you can no longer tolerate people that are supporting segregation, or you can no longer support the people that want to secede from the union to keep slavery legal, or you can no longer support people that want to keep McCarthyism alive. And he was kind of pointing it out that, you know, hey, that's just the way it is. And you have to call these people out. You have to shun them. You have to quit tolerating it, so that they'll quit. You know, these people can't sit there and like, oh, well, we'll just have to agree to disagree. You know, we're going to have to agree that you got to find new friends. And that's kind of what he was getting at, because he said the shit that's coming out now. I mean, they had it on the news yesterday. There was a guy who, it's that Trump's new lawyer, and he was basically talking about how the fraudulent, they're not fraudulent electors, they're alternate electors, you know, and he's sitting there, and they had a historian on the show, and they were running his clip, and he was talking about how, oh, you know, these are just alternate electors in the same way that, you know, John Kennedy had alternate electors, you know, and it's just in the line of that. And the historian, you could just see the face he made. He just started shaking his head. And, well, then they asked, they go, could you shine some light on this from history? And he said, well, he goes, when John F. Kennedy won the election, he goes, and I don't know if it was it had to be the first election. I think they killed him before he could do the re-election. And, he said when he won, there were all these southern states that were afraid that he was gonna end segregation. He was gonna integrate schools and other stuff down south. They were worried about his civil rights agenda. And apparently what they did was they told him, they go, well, you need to promise us that you're not going to integrate blacks and whites, or colors and whites, they probably used back then, and or Negroes. They were probably still using that fucking horrible fucking term back then. I said, because if you don't give us that promise, what we're going to do is we're gonna basically impanel electors who won't seat you as president, and it'll go to, you know, the other guy. And so that's why they had alternate electors, just in case. Like, if those guys did not want to abide by the election, they were going to seat the alternate electors and get him in, which is like the exact fucking opposite of what Trump and his people were going to do. And he's throwing it out there like it's a fucking legitimate thing. And but they did that yesterday, and it's, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you, but, you know, and again, I could be wrong here, but this mindset we're talking about, that, and I'm not saying it's the same thing, and I'm not trying to compare mine to the grander thing that's going on. Like, even if what they did had killed me off, it would still not be as bad, in my opinion. It would not be as bad as trying to steal the election. It would not be as bad as trying to put some piece of shit like Trump back into office. And but it's the same mindset. You know, you've got these people in the Republican Party, and they don't care. You know, and this has been going on for a while. This goes back at least to the Bush administration, Bush 43. You know, because you had his brother. This guy was the sitting governor of Florida, and what he did was he sent a list. He sent a list to these other states. They were ones that were, you know, could go either way. You know, they were going to be close either way. And he basically told them, hey, here's these people. They might be felons. So do you really want to let them vote? And most, if not all, of the people that were on that list, they weren't felons. In some cases, you had people that were poll workers. They were involved in the election process, and they couldn't vote. And they never fucking prosecuted the people. Like, Jeb Bush got away with it. His fucking evil henchman that did it got away with it. And so it morphed into what you got now, where you got these people that are Republicans. And for the last couple decades, you know, they've been basically trying to suppress the vote. They've been gerrymandering. They've been doing all this shit. The voter ID bullshit. They've been basically looking for ways to keep black and brown people and college students from voting. And that was, you know, if they'd have prosecuted those people, like, you go back, and I don't remember which election it was, but there was a guy that was working for the Republicans. He owned, like, I talked about this before. He owned, like, one of those calling places where they, you know, they do a lot of shit, those call centers where they call people and try to collect on credit card debt and the other shit. And what happened was he went to jail for like 3 years. Well, and hopefully we'll see some of this with Trump. As soon as they got him, he offered up. You know, he's like, hey, look, I was hired by the Republican National Committee. I will give you the names and that. Well, as soon as it was going to go to people inside the Republican leadership, oh, they spent millions of dollars. They started protecting him. And if they, as far as I know, nobody above him, nobody that hired him, it was kind of like this. You know, it was kind of like January the 6th. You know, it was okay to lock up the flunkies, but look at the way the Republicans are circling the wagon now that they're going after the leadership. And some of it, they were talking. I think it's Michigan and Minnesota. Rachel did a story, and like, she was pointing out what games on Xbox cost, and she pointed out that, like, you know, hey, here's a game costs $58. Here's a game costs $60. She's talking about some of the newer games, but they weren't even the expensive ones. God forbid, you know, they weren't even the top priced ones. And what she pointed out was that if you had enough money to buy that game, you were spending more money than I think the either Michigan or Minnesota. That's all the RNC had. You take the GOP party for the state, that's all they had. And the other state had left $58,000 or $50,000, not that much money. Like, you couldn't, in some cases, you can't even buy a house for that. And that's all they got. So you take, like, Michigan, they don't have enough money to throw millions of dollars at a legal defense like they did for that. They had that guy basically do, if it was a computer, it would be called a denial of service attack. What he did was, the guy went to jail for 3 years. This was like 10, 20 years ago. And he went to jail, but it's like, what he would do is he would find these places where Democrats were helping people get out to vote. They were arranging rides for him. They were letting him know where he, like, hey, give us your address and tell you where you got to go vote and stuff like that. And what they did is they just spammed them with calls so that their phones were not working. Auditors do it to the government all the time. But they But no, they did that, and they might not be able to do it. These people that were part of this organization to overthrow the election, they might not, at least at the state level, might not have money to protect the people that were doing this shit, and that's a good thing. And they're probably not the only ones. This is probably a thing because Donald Trump, I think, has broken their fundraising. I really think he has broken their fundraising. And there are people that are not giving him money. Like the Koch brothers have abandoned him. And I'm just going to pause for a minute. I'm just going to talk for a few minutes, and then I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. And because I'm trying to see what time. Yeah, it's a little after 10. I'm going to have to feed the cats pretty soon. I'm surprised. She must have been okay with the snack I gave her because she's not in. She was bugging me at like 9:30 yesterday. And, but oh my God, they were talking about it this morning, and the United States got their credit rating dropped. We went from a AAA to a AA plus. And Morning Joe was talking about how Jamie Dimon from JP Morgan or something like that, he came out and said, oh, well, it doesn't matter, you know, blah, 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 no big deal. I don't know why they did that, just a waste of time. And Joe, a former Republican, was just cheering it on like, oh, yeah, this is what we need. But the one thing he did get right, and I will give him this, and he had one guess, something Haas, HAASS or something like that. I think he got it right. I think he absolutely got it right. But the one thing Joe got right was he was talking about how, you know, we really got to do something about the debt. And he's right, you know. There was a guy, God, I think Toy Cat or something like that. He's a fucking Minecraft streamer from overseas. He's not from America. Well, at least he wasn't born in America. I think he still streams overseas, though. And I believe he was talking about after the banking crisis when George Bush was president back in 2008. He was talking about his country, and what they did was they actually got to where there was like a surplus. And what they did was they invested it, and so he goes, they're getting interest on it. And they can now spend that interest on things. Where you take a look at the taxes we're paying, well, we not only got to pay for everything, but we got to pay the interest on those taxes, or on those. We got to pay the interest on that money we borrowed. And I did mention that, you know, hey Joe, that's the one thing you were right on this. We do need to address the debt. Ain't no lie, because I go the constant shoveling of taxpayer dollars to pay the interest rates is just stupid. But I go, your guest Haas that you had on, I think got it right. I go, maybe you and others and Jamie Dimon could be talking about how the reason why the credit rating was dropped was because of Republicans' failed economic policies. Basically, some of the same policies that brought you the Great Depression. Somebody was talking about that. This was back when Bush was still president. The Republicans were pushing the ideas that basically they were doing during the Great Depression. And because you can go look this up. When FDR got in there and he started fixing the Great Depression, and if they had 24-hour news back then and they had people like Joe Scarborough, they, oh, well, you know, FDR, he only did that because of the fucking Republicans in Congress, you know, holding his feet to the fire, because he did that to Bill Clinton. And the Republicans sent Bill Clinton a bill. And if he'd have signed it, it would have been bad. It wouldn't have been good. So he refused to sign it. He shut the government down until they sent him a bill that he wanted, that he could sign. Well, when they sent him the bill he wanted, it paid off debt. We had a roaring economy. We had, like, you know, damn near 8 years of a roaring economy and peace. Things that we should strive for. And what happened was you had these years where you had a couple of years after the Great Depression under FDR where things were getting better. well, the Republicans were doing then what they're doing now. Oh, we need austerity. We got to cut spending. We need to lower taxes. And it was either 37 or 38. And if you go and look at a chart, there was 1 year where the growth after the Great Depression stopped or dropped. And it was that year they did what Republicans wanted. Not making this up. And the facts are out there. You can go look at it. And but I go, maybe he should be calling out that yes, this down rating was needed because of Republican politics, Republicans screwing around with the debt ceiling, Republicans screwing around with keeping the, with getting a budget and keeping the government running. Basically just blame this on Republicans. And point out that if you don't vote them out, if you don't put people in there who care about the economy, we may get downgraded again after 2024. I go, you're sitting there, Morning Joe's doing, he's like, oh, it's never going to happen, it's never going to happen. I go, yeah, how many people said Trump would never get elected? I go, there were a lot of them. They were wrong. You're probably wrong, Joe. And even if you're wrong, why should we have people in doing stupid shit? And it's just something that they need to do. But I go, Haas is right. And I go, maybe instead of cheerleading Jamie Dimond on, maybe you guys should be cheerleading Angus Fitch. Maybe you guys should be cheerleading Fitch and going, yes, somebody needs to hold these traitorous Republican policies accountable. Maybe somebody needs to hold them accountable so that we can get our country up and running again like it is now. And I go, and then the other thing you guys should do is you guys should absolutely talk, like Joe was saying, about paying down the debt and keeping the economy running, like a modern day Clinton era. Where we're going to have, a good economy, reasonable taxes, and a roaring economy. And I go, Bidenomics is something that should be sold as a good start, but we need more. Oh, well, I'm going to go. I'm going to feed the cats. The way I'm feeling, I think I will do Minecraft later. Hopefully everybody's having a good day. Peace out and take care.